Hello there, everyone. I hope you're doing great. I am, and today it's I'm doing great, but I'm in a really like chill vibe and slow vibe. So, and also I have a contact lenses, and the left one is it's blurry for no reason. That's kind of annoying, but I'm high on coffee and ready to give some feedback. And yeah, a couple words on feedback. Well, first, if that Discord, if you want to send some stuff, okay, you can do it on the Fractal Sounds Discord server, and there's a link now. There was a link. There's always been a link in the description of the video. That's I'm a bit lost though. Yeah, and the link is Bad Lens Days. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I'll need to take it out and like scrub it harder or whatever. But yeah, it does suck. So yeah, Fractal Sound user community Discord server. The link was expired because I really don't understand that link expiring thing. Like, why does it's like, when you share stuff on Google Drive, like it doesn't expire because like why would who does like, oh, I want it to expire, right? But yeah, so the link was expired. So now the link is not expired. So if you wanna submit, you go into the server and there's this there's yeah, pretty much that where you can go. And you go, there's the feedback machine section in the server, the channel, feedback, hashtag feedback machine. And you submit there. And also the feedback machine channel is active. It's active, when just always users can give feedback to each other. And it's recommended that you keep a good karma. So if you drop some stuff there, try to give feedback to others. Also, if you yeah, I had other stuff I wanted to say. Yeah, okay, so if you ask for some feedback, please, it's always please, it's for you. But if you just drop your track with minimal amount or no comment at all on what you want feedback on, that's probably yes, good idea to use Sonarworks microphone so it won't sit in closet for 10 years without being touched. Yeah, so you can also get some pristine room reverb. Yeah, but the thing with the mic is I had I'll still have it, an Apex something. Be something. It's an Apex. It's like I'd say a beginning. It's not top end mic, but Apex 2021. No, that's not 2021B. It's Sherlock Holmes address, 2021B Baker Street. But Apex microphone. It's 4060B. So I have this one, and it stopped working. It's a connection thing. It really stopped working from like just suddenly. And the thing is, at this price range, it's almost worth just buying a new one. And I'm not necessarily in the mood nor the budget mood to buy a new one. Like I could, but there's other stuff I want to get before that. So, but I wanted to be able to keep streaming, so that's why I use the Sonarworks mic. And also, yeah, it's like killing two birds with one stone, because it I use it for something. But obviously it's not a surprise. It kind of like record more noise, So yeah, that's the long answer to that. Yeah, so I was just saying, yeah, about the feedback. So just try to, if you ask some feedback, try to steer user in a not user, but well, yeah, user. Sorry, try to steer people towards a direction for feedback. So let's say, um, I want to know about the low end. I want to know about top end. Is the kick okay? Nah, nah, nah. Or you could say arrangement. Or but if you just drop your track and it's like no context, that's probably the situation where you're most likely to end up with like, it sounds good, bro. Or like like it's hard. Even me sometimes. Hey, what's up, Davies? Yeah, it's sometimes it's those moments where it's like, I'm not sure what you want feedback on. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be careful, man. You never know, this thing might just jump at me. You never know. Yeah, it looks like. um all right. Yeah, and there's no anti-pop filter, but I don't feel it happens that often, but sometimes there can be like, it's not pop protected. But okay, so let's first start with I get some feedback suggestions here. And I'll start with this one, which was submitted like before. Sadly, in the last stream, last episode of Feedback Machine, I didn't have the time to proceed this one, so I'll proceed this one. After that, I got some more tracks, but keep them coming. For now, I still can. If you send it now, I'll have definitely time to pass it in this episode. So let's listen to that. That's Doug Diamond, Navajo, and yeah, this one. So feedback context. Yeah, not much said about this one. So I'll just globally give an opinion, I guess. And also the last thing I wanted to say, feedback, like, take it with a grain of salt. It's like feedback is it's like pointers. It's gonna help, but like it's not the axe of God cutting on your track if it's good or not. It's just like it helps. And even like, try to not doubt every feedback, but don't take it as like, just a final judgment on your track at all, actually. But it helps sometimes if there's some gray zones, there's some stuff you want to know. Anyway, let's start listening to this track. Yeah, and as always, whenever I'm cutting track, like I said in previous, like the first episode of Feedback Machine, it's like uh, electronic music. These are it's underground electronic music. These are long tracks, so I just wanna make sure we can have time for everybody. So sometimes I kind of jump in the track. It's not because it's not good or anything, so don't take it personal. But yeah, so this track, there's tracks like this where so Davies Nova says this is cool, heavy acid and stuff. Yeah, the synths are cool. I wrote that the breakdown is a cool moment. Um, there's something though about this track, like the mix down, mixing mastering, like there's some tracks like this, like I'd really like to get my hands on, like on the and just mix it, but there seems to be not much of it, not enough sub bass, or maybe absence of sub bass. So that's something to check out. I'd like to take like a moment to mention adaptar metric and referencing, if you guys have it or not. But man, like it's like referencing is very very important. That's sometimes that scary thing to do, but it's important. So basically, adaptar metric, what it can do is well, I'll give you an example. So you're gonna bring your track in your project. Let's see, what could I bring. Yeah, I'm gonna bring a solar punk track here. So yeah, let's say you get Pike Lake. That's one track. That let's say that this is your project, and you're gonna load some reference track here. So this is techno. So I'm not gonna play stuff, but because I don't want the copyright thing. But like, yeah, let's listen to placard. So you have your track. I'm gonna mute the. Yeah, I'm gonna mute it. So, but you're gonna have the metering. So you play your track, right, and you have peak RMS values for both. You can go right here, and you really need to make sure you're comparing apples with apples. So in terms of loudness, make sure you have the same values here. But yeah, so for example, hey, what's up? I know it's Pat, but I wanna say your proper artist name, but Sven. And you just missed that trance track actually. You just missed a trance track, or maybe you saw it. I don't know. Sveinbjorn. Hopefully I'm kind of not butchering the name too, but I like it. It kind of rings a lot with the like Nordic trance roots. I like that. I get the influence for sure. So yeah, you have this. You have those readings, and in this particular track, what you can do is you could isolate the sub bass and compare it with the track, your reference track. And I think so, Doug, if you do that, you might. I suspect that you might see that you could put more sub bass in there, definitely. But if you need some help, like honestly, I'd like to the mix down overall. Like before releasing stuff, just make sure it's top notch. So it's good. You're just gonna hit harder. It's gonna be best for, it's gonna reach more people for sure. So I think we can lift that to a higher level. And also intro, the introduction. There's something. It's like a bit of the. No worries how to pronounce it. And yes, Nordic influence. Yeah, I really get. I got that part. Yeah, introduction. That's something. That's like a bit of a less creative part, but the formatting. Like you can use template and still be very creative, but like the introduction and outro are usually for your track, to make your track mixable, for like playable for DJs. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't want that, but it can help to have a nice intro format. So let's go to next one. This one is from Siliconics, and I believe I've heard earlier version of the track. So this one is gonna be cool. It's gonna be a different approach for this one. And Siliconics, if you like, yeah, let us know in the comments if they're like what exactly you want feedback on. I know I'm gonna see your submission, but tips on what might be added to arrangement before mixing. Perfect. So that's what we're looking for here. Tips or anything that might be added to the arrangement before mixing. So this track is also before mixing, so we're gonna take that into account. You can point stuff, but there's also it's logical to hear some stuff that is not quite done yet in the sense of mixing. So let's fire this one up.
You mean to tell me that you think we're the only ones in the whole universe? Just us? It's a sad way of thinking, if you ask me.
Nice, nice, really cool. And yeah, it's a I've heard this track a lot, but I've heard like some parts of it in during lessons. But now it's like that I took like, well, we did chop that end, but we pretty much listened to the old track almost, and it's crazy big because it's a different it's a different listening state, and yeah, that's the cool thing when you're on like feedback mode. You really focus on these. I'm gonna just bring this here. It's a because Chrome does give the time mark. So yeah, everyone, don't forget to if you want some feedback on your track, you can submit it in the feedback machine on the Discord server. Link is in the description. And yeah, that's it. There's still some room for today. This one, yeah. So lots of cool stuff. So first, the introduction, the djembe in the introduction, it needs to be filtered or EQ'd, but I would say just high pass or low pass, because it feels too dry in the intro. Like it feels like you have this, the introduction is like mysterious and vaporous, and you have boom, the djembe kind of appears to like, hey, hello. So you need to introduce it, I think, filtered. I really love the fill moment here. Like it's nice to hear it in context. We did work on that, but yeah, I don't know if you changed some stuff, but now it's just like it blends in very well. Some stuff I would like to see or hear. It's a pad. I you know what, during the lesson I thought about it, and then we just went somewhere else and forgot about it. But like I think you could have some Goa pad, like just very synthetic, just sort of long pad that creates yeah, just like mysterious tension and all. Some long pad. Aside from that, I did took some note, but yeah, definitely. I know I know what I'm saying. I know you don't like the BA1, but like just actually anything that is a bit like synthetic, old synth style. But there's one that does a good job in this one. Like pad. Why is it so quiet? Oh, I know, it's because I'm still on adaptar metric. I'm on the still fit. Yeah, okay. Not this one, but this with some proper filtering and reverb. Like you can, this is fairly dry, but you can really change it to something else, or your synth of choice, your favorite one, truly. But there's a few really cool ones also that are free. One of my favorite one is Arminator 2, which is it's a CS80 emulation, and there's some pretty cool pad-like sounds in there. So yeah, of course, I didn't necessarily like stumble across the pad because the preset, they're not very organized. But this one I've had some cool moments with it in the past. So like a Juno, yeah, Juno style pad, yeah, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, Dune is used for most of it, as you know. I do know, yeah, and yeah, I'm sure in Dune you can find some really cool stuff. Silent too, so that could do it pretty much. You know, there's also the melody here. It's good, but I would like this synth it's fairly static, so maybe a cutoff could go a bit up and down. And a cool thing is like if you have a delay that is in the chain at the correct place, you're gonna have your cutoff opening, and then that moment is gonna bounce around. Then it's gonna, and you can also automate that if you want more delay feedback at this particular point, you know. Yeah, so that also, like the synth having the cutoff at this place and the melody opening up a bit more. And so there's a snare roll here, which is cool. If you I don't know if you thought about filtering it with a high pass as it goes up, could go well, or you could keep it that way. And the vocals are nice, but I'm like just raising the questions like, do you want to keep them dry, or I think some proper delay could give it a very like old school Goa vibe. I don't know. Of course, like if you over process it, it's gonna sound like the modern Psy. But if you slap in some cool delay, it can sound vaporous a bit. They're also a bit in your face, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but they could also be brought far up in the mix. It's just, I would say it's just too approach at this point. All right, so moving on to another track. I'll need to go fetch it, but if you want some feedback on your work, you can go into the Discord server, into feedback machine right here, and the channel feedback machine, and you send your stuff, and I'm gonna listen to it. But I got another track that needs feedback, and it's actually a follow-up, a bit like this one. I don't know if this one was shared in the other one, but I know that this one, it's a follow-up on a track that has been in the works. So we listened to an earlier version of it, so there was some changes that were done accordingly to the you know, in conjunction with the feedback that has been provided previously. So let's do this. I just want to take a little moment to say that that's actually a proper introduction. Like, I know for us that's listening like in feedback mode or whatever, it takes a long time. But if you're and it's also not like just like DJs playing your track. It's also like if you want to include your own track in a mix, you need a good introduction like this. And it doesn't need to be mind-blowing. It's fairly simple, especially for like electronica, melodic techno kind of thing. You just need to have some like not too cheeky intro part of your track, and then really the song actually start here. All right, so there's actually the sub bass in the breakdown, or like the just the bass in the breakdown. It's, you can hear it. It stays pretty like full all the time. So there's something I often end up saying a lot, and is that it's all about energy management. Like all electronic music, and I would even dare to say not just electronic music, but like it's all about energy management. And it's also, if you're looking into like just pushing your sound and pushing your music further, I discussed a lot about ear candy, but also like it's just that those subtle energy management. And I believe like in that breakdown, this should go away for a while, the bass, or just the main bass. I say sub, but actually I think it's just like the main bass. But it should need to go away. Could either be replaced by a bass pad and then be reintroduced, or just be filtered. And then, you know, that's that, I have to say, like one of the tracks I'm really proud of in that sense is the okay, so it's this one, the Edward Lakes Sanatorium. It's a solar punk track, and it's the first time I did a very different breakdown. Okay, that I was doing in different than what I was doing in psytrance, different than what I was doing in techno even. So maybe for like just listen on how the sub, just the bass and energy is managed in the breakdown. So I would recommend maybe something like this. Also, the way that the drums are reintroduced. So yeah, it was actually it was just it was there was no bass. It was just relying on the kick. So yeah, where is it? Is it where is the original track? Just looking for it. I'll bring it back here. Yeah, so I think it just also, like I said, energy management. So this one, so I think either swap it with the bass pad or either filter it. I think it's gonna like, you're still gonna get that like progressive, hypnotic, like linear feel, but it's gonna help with the energy management. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today's stream. Was really cool. So, but if you still have some tracks you want feedback on, even in between the stream, you can still drop it on the Discord server for feedbacks. I sometimes I go there, I provide some feedback, and users, they provide feedback also. Like they feedback themselves. Like it's really the point of calling it the feedback machine. So yeah. Unless someone else has a track I want to drop right now, I'm gonna call it call it a day for today. But I'll just let it play the rest of this track. I think it's gonna be a good closure. But like I said, yeah, if you want feedback on your track, feedback machine on the Discord server. Nice. I still feel like everything that's there right now is good, but I think maybe more filtering, playing with filters, and more pads just like, I think right now at this stage of the track it ramps up to something pretty nice, um, but it needs to just like become very thick, because but it's less repetitive than it was, but I still think more filter like uh with some Siliconics, but with other students also, I've been nailing a lot the point of like the subtle filtering and energy management changes, and I think this track in this specific section kind of lacks that, so that's what could be added. Now, yeah, so Greywood, you like literally by couple like minutes I was about to like pull the plug, and yeah, because we were like I was up to date on reviewing all the tracks, so we got a new one. Anything, let me know anything you want, like specific feedback on. Otherwise I'm just gonna go general. Also let us know if it mixed, is it what's the current state of the track. It's always a good information, so we can give like proper feedback. So but yep, in the meantime, let's listen to that.
You motherfucker!
Yes.
Yeah, it's good when I feel like having two guns like that. But yeah, it's cool track, and I was really like I was up for some bass music. I've been into, I always love bass music, even though I produce psytrance, and I did a stream lately where I just produced some bass music for fun. So this was really cool. So if you so it's that you want to know if it's release ready, almost a year. Open to sending for mastering soon. So I'm assumed it's like mixed but not mastered. But so far it's pretty clean. Like I feel like it's minimal. So sometimes it might be a bit easier to get it clean, but the track, the current state is clean. And what I mean by clean is like you can feel stuff, you see them clearly in the mix. There's not no elements like jumping on other elements. Yeah, I saw that stream, so I felt comfortable sending it to you. Yeah, don't hesitate. Honestly, I'm like genre wise, the only genres like I'm like, if somebody like send some track that is like reggaeton or like Pitbull style, I would be like, I won't be disrespectful, but I might just go through it really quick, because any like underground, anything that is underground Electronic music is super cool. But yeah, the current track, the current state of the track is pretty clean. There, it's really subtle stuff. So for me, it depends. If there's something bothering you, is it release ready? I think if there's something bothering you in the arrangement, or something like creatively you feel you want to add more stuff, then it's not. But on my side, I've when I hear that, it sounds like something that is release ready. There's some little stuff though that could, it's those details that could maybe push the track further. But like the buzz saw that you have a saw always like like a buzz saw. So I'm assuming something like saw wave plus noise, or it's very like fuzzy and buzzy. Uh, this one is cool. Maybe it's not your thing, but I would kind of like to hear it with a bit more like stereo expansion. That could be achieved if you have multipass. If you put has on, not the like on the mid band or top band, you get a nice stereo expansion. So that could actually be a nice contrast between, you have your stuff that is pretty not centered, but it's pretty like stable, and then you would have your buzz, so that could be like very almost like splashy. Yes, somewhat. Well, whiteness is cool. It needs to be done like with not delicacy. It's not delicacy, the word in English, but like just but yeah, what's really cool, like I can actually just show you, but if you have multipass, or actually I haven't dabbled much with the new wider, but this one is cool. But I actually even prefer, like, for that kind of stuff, I prefer the has just that technique, and you can dial it more or less with this one. It just gives like an hallucination of a stereo expansion, which is really really nice. I would say, okay, so now it's really, don't get me wrong, we're in the details now. I would say more depth perception, but when we say there's multiple ways to, what I mean is like 3D depth, and that is achieved through bus processing. So there's some compressors, if applied, and there's some type of processing, if applied correctly, they will give you like but if you get stem mastering, that can be achieved that way, or it can be achieved. You can start working that on your in your mix down, but basically this is achieved through bus processing. If you have some compressors, and you do some kind of New York style compression, parallel compression, this one is cool for that. And if you have like that, you blend the compressed signal with the dry signal, and you get the overlay of both layers, kind of bring some mojo. Yeah, some of the Acoustica plugins, and just it's not necessarily like one plugin magic. It's just like when you stack the proper processing, so that could help just give some mojo and some depth to it. But usually, yeah, if you get some good stem mastering, that can help. If you need some mastering, I can do it. But yeah, that's you can start working that as on your bus if you want. But the track is already really clean, so good job on that. Let's just see. Yeah, okay, that's pretty much. We're out of track to review. If it's like, if anybody got a track, send it in the Discord server now, or else it's pretty much the end of the stream. But anyway, I've got this comp but never used it. Thanks for the tip about parallel compression. That'll give me an excuse to try that one out soon. Yeah. Parallel compression. It's a big. It's like I've done this metaphor in the past, but like 3D glasses, blue, red. It's really like, if done properly, it's a bit like, those glasses, how they work. It's like you're gonna have like one eye sees the red and one eye sees the blue. Well, blue and red, and the 3D is like when both the difference between both are being brought like together, that kind of tricks the brain. It's actually, if done properly, you can get a bit of that vibe, because you have the dry signal, which is red, and the comp signal, which is blue, and then since they have difference, it kind of brings a bit more. But yeah, this one, it brings more depth. Sorry, I need to finish my sentences. But this one helps. But sometimes if you can stack a couple of these, that can also be done with saturation, similar concept, but also with saturation. So if you got both like comp and saturation doing that, you get nice subtle but very cool expansion. Okay, last check on the Discord server. That seems to be pretty much it for today. That was nice. Thank you for tuning in. Gonna do yeah, it's like each feedback machine episode is like between 2 and 3 weeks. Got a very busy day ahead today because just released today 2 packs on Fractal Sounds. So first one is Acid Vortex. It's been in the work for quite some time. So Acid Vortex is out. It's on intro price, and there's also a wavetable pack on intro price as well. And Acid Splash wavetable has been used to create Acid Vortex, so it's like it is linked. So but they just come out today, and I got lots of stuff in relation to that, like related to some material to post and promote. And but yeah, check these out. Acid, it's like it's good for everything, man. I just in the bass music stream, I use some of the Acid wavetables. I might also even be streaming again later today. Don't know, I'm not sure. So yeah, again, last glance at the Discord server, we're up to date. So thank you, everyone. But even if the stream ends, you got some stuff you need some feedback on, drop it in the Discord server. I'm gonna see you soon, guys. Happy producing.